Great morning, or whatever time of the day this is for you. How did it feel when someone tried to shrink you? When someone attempted to use their opinion, which they're entitled to tear you down as a being, as the beautiful energy that you are, to tell you that how you think is a mistake? How did it feel when someone attempted to take your identity away from you? Not your outer identity, not the face of the flesh suit, but who you are, who you know you are at the core. How did it feel when someone attempted to make you walk away from you? I I stay away from all type of cults. I stay away from culture cliques. I stay away from anything that does not understand or respect the individuality within a circle. I don't get involved in those things because as a child, I noticed how even those of us that said we was family and we was friends, how we differed in deferred in different things. We didn't always agree on everything. So for me, that was a aha and a jinkies moment to always walk with me. I've never bought into the herd mentality. Groupthink to me is very dangerous, and it's a bunch of BS also. So it's something that I never subscribe to. My essence wouldn't allow it. What I am would not allow me to mosey on and get comfortably seated within any type of cult, any type of culture. When I went through the first time I went through the Sacred Woman Gateways with the group back in anywhere from 2013 to 2015, I really forget. Um, I remember the facilitator said that, your spirituality will surpass your culture. And the other day I was sitting around here and I was thinking, why did she and I have that conversation? Could she tell that I wasn't with the fuck shit of, you know, the pro black stuff or having the mentality that I'm here to save a group of people that look like me? Um I know that I talk with my face and my hands, they have a whole nother conversation sometimes as my mouth is talking. My body is a total expression machine within itself. So, my face may have started to begin to say something, and she goes on to tell me that. And I absolutely agree with her with that because I knew that that was my truth. I was refusing to compress God into this box. I refused to compress God into something this small to make it be about this is it right here. You know, um, how I really feel is God is way bigger than tunnel vision. I'm way bigger than tunnel vision, but when I'm focusing on me and what makes me happy and being true to myself, I do have tunnel vision. But I also see, because I don't like the word but, I think it's an excuse. And I also see that everyone else here is a God also. So for me to tell another God, no, that's a mistake how you are and what you have going on. No, no, no. God didn't do that. God did exactly what you see before you. Now, how you're processing how God has moved, does move, will forever move, has always moved. It's something that the individual has to work through. So I ask again, how did it feel when someone attempted to shove you in one of these? To tell you You don't know who you are. You're confused. Yada yada, this and that. All of that stuff. How did it feel? Because they spoke their opinion, their perception, what they believe to be true. How did it make you feel? And if it made you feel in a manner that you did not appreciate, if you've done it to others, maybe you need to get that mirror out your purse or go stand in front of the mirror and say, reciprocity. If I didn't like it when it was done to me, the best way to break a curse, to break generational curses and cycles of dysfunction and mistreatment towards another God, is to take note of how you felt when it was done to you. When it was done to you. I have an affinity for the LGBT community. I have affinity for every one of those gods. Every one of those gods, especially the ones that came here that will tell people, I've known since I was such and such age that this is who I was. I've always known that. Yet we live amongst a group of controlling, chaotic, crazy ass bastards that feel like they're qualified to tell another person, nobody's born like that. Something had to happen to you. Somebody touched you. And a question that I posed to someone before, okay, let's just do an experiment. Or maybe you should go do a little bit more research to find out from a person that was in a 2-parent household, because they said if the father's missing, that causes it. Was in a 2-parent household. The child was not abused. They had a silver spoon life, should we say. No one has ever done anything to them. But they said, I've known this about myself since I was 3 years old. But here we go, a person that thinks God lives in a box like this goes to tell them, well, now God don't make that, and 2 men together or 2 women together, that's not of God. I beg your pardon if it's not. When I posed that question to them, they just kind of looked, as people always look at me very strangely when I hit them with something that's simple but so real and evident, which they deny, because most people deny the truth when it's sitting right here. And it stays right here. It becomes that booger in your nose, on your nose, that nobody ever told you about. You can't, it's in your nose. It's in your nose. We know who we are at the core. But because people have bought into one of these cult ways of viewing life, a religion, different ideologies and different dogmas, and just their own beliefs, they have this thing that I have to tell you where you wrong at. God didn't make you that way. Someone else did. Your life circumstances did. In some cases, that is the case for some people. But when you're dealing with a person that tells you, I knew since I was 3. When you're dealing with a person with that, they know themselves better than you. So they know what they're talking about. You're assuming. And you're judging based on your prejudice against sexuality and your lack of understanding of how God actually manifests itself. So how did it make you feel when someone attempted to take your identity away from you? When someone attempted to tamper with your core strings because of their fear, their prejudices, their ignorance, their not knowing you? How did it make you feel? And if you didn't like it, do you feel like it's time for you to stop doing it to other people? God knows itself.